It's me, Vic from Sailor Nick. Welcome back to another episode. This is like follow-up to our last YouTube exclusive. We've got a part 2. And here with me I have...
I'm Ann of Studio Duskus. Oh my gosh, you jumped right in. I was like, okay, where do I need to insert myself? Okay.
I literally
Thank
have
so much.
no brain power to process anything, to think about what I want to say, to nothing. We are literally coming off of an intense week of trying to hustle and get this project delivered.
Girl. Okay. We won't say what today is because I'm trying not to timestamp myself. But it's literally been 7 days.
Yes.
Since we've been working. So we haven't had a weekend off. Or a day off.
No.
Which is fine. We love what we do. We're so blessed. And honestly, when it's you and me in the studio and we're just hustling, it's so much fun.
We have so much fun. And I would never, I won't want to do it with anybody else because you're the best. We share everything. It's fun. It's so amazing.
You know, I feel this week has been really fun in the sense that last year, in 2022, we kept talking about or asking the question, what's an Ann and Vicky collab? What's a Vicky and Ann collab? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And not that we don't want to do a collab. People ask about it all the time. But, we just don't really know. And also, it's one of those things where, we don't really want to force it unless it's,
It's really organic.
Yeah.
I feel like every single time we've collabed, it's been really organic. And it's been just the universe coming together to be you should do this, and this is the right time and place to do it.
Yeah. But then this week is kind of special because we're not really doing a collaboration together, officially.
Yeah.
But it's just been so special to me because we're in the studio for long days, and you're helping me, and then I'm helping you, and then we're problem solving, and then we're when there are moments where I'm I'm not really asking for help, but I'm kind of just walking through what's happening in this particular process of the project that I'm working on. I mean, we can get into it right now, but there was a part where Vicky was and I don't think so. No, I'm gonna have to veto what you're saying right now because that does not work.
Unsolicited advice, but I got you, girl. I got your back.
It's so great because it did not work. Vicky basically helped me problem solve a very crucial part of my process that I've never done before. This is specifically involving super glue of a certain material. Mm-hmm. And in my head, I was yeah, of course it's going to work. It's super glue. But of course, it did not work.
Because super glue is supposed to glue everything. It's supposed to stick everything together, right?
And it always never sticks anything else but my skin together.
Yeah, exactly.
And so she was no, you need to use epoxy instead. And homie had just some brand new epoxy for me to test with and try it. And I was thank God, because that was what worked.
Did it work? I gotta check in. Did it work?
It totally worked.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and when the trial piece that I did with the super glue did not work. Okay, so thank God.
I called it.
Yeah, so thank God you were there for that part of the process before I even proceeded, because again, it's not one of those things where oh, I'm gonna check in with Vicky because I don't know what she's done before. I don't know what issue that she's encountered with pertaining to this before.
Yeah.
And so it was just, again, the universe is looking out for me, and it's here, Vicky is going to help you problem solve. And thank God.
No, that's the littlest things, because you literally helped me so much with the process. This would not have been possible without you.
No, it would. Honestly, okay, here's the thing. We always talk about this. When push comes to shove, if we didn't have any other way to do it but on our own, we would figure out a way, and it would still look kick-ass. But it was nice that we can help each other elevate it.
Yes. I mean, this is why this is the perfect collab. While we're sharing the studio together and we have the equipment behind us, and making full use of things that we paid too much money for and barely ever get to use. Mm-hmm. This is the perfect collab for it.
Yeah. So Anyways.
Okay. Well, we haven't even told them what this is.
Well,
Like, I
you
feel like-
kind of said this was like a continuation of our last YouTube special.
Yes.
So remind everybody, what was our last YouTube special? If you haven't watched the last YouTube special, please go check it out.
Yes, linked above. So last time we were on YouTube and we did an episode like this, it was to show you guys our Steph Curry collaboration, but like customs that we did using the Steph Curry Flow 8s. And we shared with you what the shoes look like, what the final customization looked like, the process, like any challenges that we came upon. And then of course, like what Ann said, about 7 days ago, we got wind that delivery date is essentially today.
Maybe.
Maybe.
At any given moment, basically.
Right.
And
So we had a week to get our ish together and figure out how to package the sneakers so that we can drop them off. And that's basically the story of what we're going to show you today.
Yeah. And so Vicky and I, we don't like to send our customs out or our commission work out in the original box that it comes in, because typically, like, again, like it's fine, but typically it's just like a cardboard box, like a cardboard shoe box. And in our head or in our mind, it's like, if we're gonna spend 40 to 80 to 100 hours on a pair of commission work, then why are we shoving it back to the original box it came in? Like, it needs to go out like so special, because since it came into our possession, like we've given it like another life, and like, let's like rebirth this baby and then send it out to the world, right?
Yeah.
So like, we never like to send it out like in its original box.
Yeah.
So we're exhausting humans, and we made
exhausting.
special boxes for these special shoes, because again, like, it's a whole experience, right, from beginning to end. So when you're receiving it, like, tell me if you disagree in the comment, but we all love an unboxing experience. Like,
oh my gosh, I love
legit,
an
like,
unboxing.
a good unboxing experience,
yes.
right? And so like, so for us, it's kind of like, okay, like, how would we want to receive it, and like put ourselves in the like receiver's shoe, and like really,
but
like,
Ann, we
blow
really
their
go
mind.
above and beyond. And I feel like the reason why we have this separate episode for this is because the packaging and the box in itself is deserving of that, because we spent so much time putting that together, and they're both unique and like really like custom sneakers, custom box. All surrounding this one person's story, essentially.
Exactly.
And like taking inspiration from them. So it's really been like such a long process. There's so much that goes into it. It's not just a box. It's not even just like our box. Like, it's not like you just made a Studio Duskus box. You made a Steph Curry Studio Duskus box.
Totally.
So,
yeah, and like everything, like, we try to, again, like, really blow out the client that we're building it for.
Yeah.
Right? So like, but obviously not to be like, we don't want to be overly cheesy about it, but like, there are always little details that like I feel would like hopefully be delightful.
You're so good at that, though. Every
So
single
are you,
client
girl.
you've had, like, just the little details that only that person would pick up on, because that's what you learned about them and like remembered,
Because
So,
that's what I love personally.
you're such a
so
thoughtful
I'm
human.
just,
Yeah.
girl, so are you. Okay, like, we literally can just like, just say great things about each other all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not what this episode is about, because we can save that for later. Vicky, I want you to go first this time, because last time I showed my shoes first, and
Okay.
like, I really want your thing to be front and center, like, right as we kick off this episode.
Okay, I can't even remember what happened last
Okay.
time, but let's go.
Wait, let's tell people the theme of, in case they haven't seen the previous episode, let's tell them what was the theme of the custom you made.
Yes. So last time I would have shown you guys the Steph Curry sneakers. They are in a Sour Patch Kids theme, which is Steph Curry's allegedly favorite candy, and also my favorite brand of candy. So this was like literally the perfect theme, the perfect like custom for me to work on. I just get so giddy that I get to do it. So to match the sneakers, so if you remember, one side was a regular Sour Patch Kid, so it was like a green and yellow colorway, and then the other side of this, so like they were mismatched sneakers. So the other side was an extreme sour Sour Patch Kid, which is like a yellow and kind of neon orangey red colorway. So, can I do it?
Yes, do it. Okay.
This cord is long enough.
And I was telling Vicky, like, please use your legs and use your, like, do not just, like, use your back because this box is so, like,
It's so
big.
heavy. Oh my
that
god.
you are going to hurt yourself. Y'all, okay? Can we just, like,
Here we
look
go.
at this baby?
Okay. So I hope I did, you know, our guys at Moondust proud because literally this box makes me appreciate what they do so much, Ann.
Okay, shout out to Moondust. So Moondust Studios is owned by our friends Brian and Lindsay. They're this LA-based shoebox
Custom
designers,
designers,
artists, where they can customize, imagine, design, and physically create their like creations into beautiful boxes. They're really good friends of ours, and we're always so inspired by them. And of course, like this, typically, like we love to collaborate with our friends on like, you know, boxes.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was just like the timing and, you know,
I mean,
all
it
the
had to be done in a
craziness.
week.
Yeah,
like
and
there's
so,
no
like-
way we
like,
could have said
exactly. So we're
Yeah.
like, okay, let's just like attempt this on our own, and like, but like huge respect because like having gone through the process ourselves, we're like, this is why you pay somebody else to do it because it's just so much work.
It's such
So
an
much work.
intensive
Yeah.
like process. And like, man, even today I came in, I was like touching up and like touching all of these things, and like there's so much that had to go into this box. So like, Ann, should I break it down and
Yes, break it
go
down. Wait,
through,
first
like,
just like, show
what we
everybody.
did?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
totally.
I'll show you. You guys can see the front. I'll also show you guys the top as well. It's decked out in Sour Patch Kids.
Wait, talk about the name, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So we replaced the Sour Patch Kid logo with Steph Curry in it, and then put 30. That's his number. Instead of having kids here.
wait, hold the phone.
Where are you going? Oh my god. Ant's going like to my side of the studio because I literally have like Sour Patch Kids
Because this
stuff.
is where like people
hanging
needs to see why it's so important. All right, the original packaging looks like this, right?
Yes.
So it spells Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
But instead, homegirl here created her own font so she can spell out Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And his jersey number
30.
is 30. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it side by side, it look like they're super cohesive. So it's like, again, like how do you honor this person and this brand into
Like I feel like this is what makes customizing really fun. Is that you can like you don't want to just copy and paste something that looks exactly the same. Customizing is about like adding these little things to it to make it personal to the person that you're doing
and it's
it for.
so special.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so like the one side of it, you'll see one side here is like pink. So this is the extreme sour side. So everything corresponds, like even the color of the Sour Patch Kids, these are only found in the extreme sour, like box. And then on the other side is just the regular Sour Patch Kids. So you see like all of the different colors of the Sour Patch Kids. And like, this is crazy. So this started as a shoe, like a toy chest. We were looking high and low for a wooden box, like a plain wooden box that would fit the shoes. And of course, like Steph Curry has size 13 feet. So the shoes themselves were like relatively big. So none of the shoe boxes that we were looking on the internet for that would arrive in time would fit those boxes. And so this is literally like a wooden, chest that we had to turn into a shoe box. And so,
But then, okay, can you talk about why a wooden base is great for this specific type of application?
yes. So, I mean, I was looking for a wooden one because I wanted something that was like sturdy, but then also that I could easily paint on top. So anything that's like just a raw wood, unfinished, is great for the application because it's minimal prep, and that means I can paint anything on it. So if Anne wasn't here and Anne didn't help me out with this, I would have just painted the whole thing, and everything would have been like, you know, maybe flat and like airbrush, kind of like the box that I've done before. So I've done like a little version on Instagram. I love this. Bring out all the Sour Patch Kid things that are in my studio. Yeah, so I had made a little version for myself. And this is literally just like a wooden box I had lying around. And I made it just for fun, just to like store a bunch of candy and like knickknacks in the studio. And I had no intention of making that box because like that box wasn't meant to lead to this one. It literally was just a coincidence, you know? But that one definitely prepared me to make this one. That's like
It did.
3 times, 4 times as big. But yeah, so I created all of the stencil or all of the templates for the patterns, I guess, for all of the Sour Patch Kids and the logo. And then Anne helped me cut it all out with her Glowforge, which is amazing because everything came out just like perfect. And honestly, it saved me so much time. I feel like if I had to airbrush all the shapes on, it would be more of like I have to be more careful with it. So it's, you know, more of a delicate process. But this way I could paint everything and then, you know,
like individually
yeah, in the colors that they need, even with like the layering. So like the logo has, it's like black underneath, and then there's like the green, or like on the 30 there's like a white and then a red. So I would paint all of those panels separately and then layer them and glue them together. And yeah, I mean, it worked great. And like, I'll show you guys the
It looks
ends
really
as
great
well.
with like the it really adds like depth and dimension when
Yes.
you have like 3-dimensional like cutouts floating on top of the surface.
Yeah, it's like super fun because it's like really poppy. The colors are really poppy, and then it has that sort of dimensional layering that makes it more interesting to look at, I think. So this is like Steph Curry's Under Armour logo. So this is the extreme side with sort of
Wait,
the
hold on,
splatter.
hold the phone.
Hey.
You're moving through it too fast. Okay, this is
Then we have no
actually, like,
time.
I know,
We
I
literally
know.
have no time.
Literally, I just want to do a whole episode on your box. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite part of the box because, like, again, like, if we're being super observant of all the details that comes on the actual Sour Patch Kid boxes, you know, like, how do we honor their original artwork? And again, but then taking it to the next level, right? And so, like, on the extreme side, like, you'll see it, like, on the logo, on the extreme. Yeah. It has this, like, paint splatter, right here. Sort of, like, organic shape. And so she mimicked that underneath this Steph logo to make that black outline underneath. Yeah. So it's such a nice touch. So, like, that's one of my favorites.
And, like, if I show you the other side, sorry, cables everywhere. If I show you the other, no, don't hold it for me. I'm gonna feel so bad. But the other side, that's like the normal logo. So that's normal logo with just like a black outline. So that's why when we look at the pink one, like then you'll see it's sort of like a splatter, and it's like celebrating the extreme side because there's a bit of splatter on the packaging as well. And then I'm not gonna go on for too long because I want you to talk about your box.
Wait, you haven't.
I have one more.
Wait, you haven't talked about. Okay,
okay, two more things. Couple more things. Here, down here, it says 314 calories per shoe. So 314 in the last episode, if you remember, is Steph Curry's birthday. So he was born on Pi Day. So 314 is a number that we incorporated onto the shoe, and then as well as the box. And then Anne wants me to open it and show you guys what's inside. Ta-da! So my logo, Steph's logo. And the shoes are inside. And then Anne also like made barcodes for us. So if you scan any of the barcodes that are on the box, it takes us straight to Instagram, which is like such a, like, you literally thought of everything when you're doing these shoes. Like, she's sitting here, she's like, oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do that. Oh, I should do, and I'm like, girl, like,
I am just matching your energy, okay? Like,
I had no energy. It was just a static line of like, just put your head down and work. Yeah, you're gonna get through this. One step at a time. Like, you have to finish it. We have to finish it in time. Literally had, like, I was a zombie. I was on autopilot the entire time. Like, just work.
She is a high functional zombie.
Yeah, very, like, we weren't on drugs, but like, we were productive. Okay, this week. Yeah. Yeah. So.
It's so good. I love it so much. Wait, can we talk about one more thing? I'm sorry. I'm like, one more thing. Okay, so again, when you get a chance, people, like, to just grab a Sour Patch Kid like box if you're at Target or Safe or whatever.
There
Like,
must be
look
one
at
in
the
here.
look at the box, okay? And like, I want to point out the details on like this border detail. Okay, can you close the box real quick?
Yeah.
Like on these, like this border detail, like on this side is that kind of like a orangey pink, and then on that side is the green. So, oh my gosh, I totally wasn't talking to the mic. Okay, so
Hopefully they
along
can
the
hear us.
border, it's actually like the sort of like jaggedy edge that you see from afar. Like, you can't
this
see the
curved edge.
details like
Yeah.
from this far out on the screen, but it's actually the silhouette of Sour Patch Kids. Like, you can see the top of their heads.
Yeah.
So it's just like a crowd of Sour Patch Kids.
I actually,
like,
so
along
like,
the edges.
technically you could probably go into the packaging and like pull that out if you had like a high quality image on Google Images, but I could not find one that was high quality enough. So I actually had to make my own. So all of these kids, I was like on Photoshop, just like popping them in and then making sure that it looks similar to that.
Which is fine. Like, no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good.
If you can't
And
find it, you
also,
gotta make it.
Girl, watermelon. Can we? The box of the watermelon.
I
So
know,
cute. Okay,
it's
never mind.
so cute.
Trying to create more work.
Aisha, you want a watermelon shoe?
Okay, no, she wants a fuzzy peach.
She wants a fuzzy peach
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's filled with candy.
So
So there's a candy layer, and then there's the shoes, and then matching socks to go with it. Oh my gosh.
Show the matching socks.
I need to show the
They're
matching
so
socks. They're so cute. I
I
didn't make these, but I found them, and I've had them literally like
They're perfect.
in my possession for the perfect person. And so this is the perfect collab.
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. All right.
so
Enough about mine.
good.
Please show
So
us your box, and let's move all
good.
this.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I can talk about your project all day. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I want them to see yours. I'm so excited. Now, Anne honestly has like, she's next level. She's next level in terms of packaging, and like I said, you're so considerate about every aspect and like just elevating it so that the unboxing experience for your client is just next level, and it's like so clean and so like high end. I like luxurious. It's such you think about
so
everything.
sweet.
You literally think about
Okay,
everything.
listen. We saw Vicky's box first, and then I'm about to pull out my box. You're gonna be like, "So, Ann, what did you do all week? Like,
Oh my
that
God.
looks like nothing." Literally, before we started this episode, I was telling Vicky, I was like, "Vicky, like, we started building our boxes around the same time, and like mine looks so simple next to yours, but then it still took me all week. I'm like, what the
No,
F
it was
did
so
I do?
funny. Okay,
Like-
so Anne had her box, you know, like it was ready to go, and I was still like ordering my box. Like we were frantically looking online to find like a wooden box and everything, and then girls just got her box here. She's just waiting, and then she like starts like getting materials in, and she's super chill, like super chill. And I'm here. Okay, I've got a week to do this. I'm like panicking, but like not panicking. I'm like, I gotta start to working right now, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna finish my box, and then I'm gonna help you, and I'm like, we're gonna do this together. Don't you worry. And of course, like,
Oh my god.
like every single time, like you think she's done, she's like, oh no, I have another thing to, and like freak out. Like we're just like, wait, I haven't even put any of my box things together. Like there's so much in there that took a lot of time, even though it didn't take a lot of time. And I feel like that's the thing that makes it like next level is how effortless it seems, but it's a lot of effort put in and a lot of thought to make it happen that way.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Oh my god. She's freaking out. She's like, wait, I didn't do this. Wait, I didn't do that.
Literally,
Yeah.
that was
we
like,
literally finished at the same time.
that is the story of my life all week this week. It's like, I was like, oh yeah, I need to make a list of all the things I need to do. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I only have a couple
Yeah.
more things. I can remember the 2 things I need to do. And it always turns out to be like 5 more things.
Yeah, she like cut something on the laser, and then next second she comes in, she's like, wait, it's 7:30. I haven't cut this thing, so she like turns up the laser to like cut
Literally.
again.
It's like firing up the laser and the cricket, like
Yeah.
all the things. We
Yeah.
cut so many decals, so many, we cut
so many
all the
things.
things.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Ta-da! So good.
So this is like aluminum box. And again, like, because the shoe size itself is a size 13, again, it's big, but it's not that big considering like a professional NBA player, right?
Yes.
And so, and again, like my aesthetic has always been like really like more clean, more minimal.
Yeah.
And so I was actually like shuffling through all of the Curry brand logos, and I wanted to like use the one that I feel like best represent him. And so this logo that you see on top kind of looks like a Superman logo.
Can we just say Steph Curry's got so many logos, and the fact that and it's the research that you had to go in to figure out like which one was associated with which part of his brand, and then like choose the one that was most suitable for the part that's most suitable for it.
Yeah. But I mean, it actually, I really like it was this one because like again, like I feel like just the shape and the design of it like fits the aesthetic of the box really well, and so
we like this logo.
Yeah, we do. So like I put that on top, so immediately like you recognize like this is for him, and then it's hard to see. Whoop. It's hard to see up here. This little black label right here. It's just dark, but I laser etched "Ruin the Game." On the little patch right here in the front. So Steph is notoriously known for like ruining the game of basketball because he's so good. But like he totally has embraced that saying, and he's just gonna keep ruining the game. So like I'm adopting that energy. Like we're ruining the game in the sneaker artist game, okay? Someone's ruined the game, people.
You see what I mean? Like the little touches, like you've researched everything about him, and this is why it's like so personal. These are all things that only Steph Curry would relate to because these are his personal sayings. These are things that represent him. So,
I hope so.
Everything is so thought out.
I hope so.
Yes.
And then it has these like locking mechanisms. You open the lid, and then so on the lid, I cut out a verbiage that says, "Our story isn't finished. Let's write it together,"
which is perfect for Steph and Studio Duskus.
Yeah.
This is what a collab is gonna look like.
I know, but it's funny because this is actually a saying that was pulled directly from his website as well. So for the SC30 brand, he's very big on like collaborating and like amplifying other people's voices, and so that's sort of like their philosophy of how they operate, which I love, and I thought it was like the perfect verbiage to pull into this particular project. And
so
then
good.
When you open the top, there's a panel where you can see
guys.
There's a little like kind of like a see-through plexiglass, which includes 3 pairs of shoelace that he can swap out for the custom shoes that I created. And then this little white rectangle right here is a little video card where I've uploaded some behind the scenes, like work in progress video of how the shoe was created. Because I personally always found that part to be like really interesting.
That's the most interesting,
and
yeah.
honestly, a lot of our clients don't get to see.
Yes.
So I thought, that would be like a nice thing for them to see.
It's amazing. He's going to open it up and be able to see like just how much went into making his shoes, like, I loved it. It was such a good video.
And then you can lift up this panel right here, and then the shoes are underneath, so you can see it in the screen, hopefully. But yeah,
so good. And you see how like the shoes fill up. Like these 2 boxes are not small, but like the shoes perfectly just like fill it up with barely enough space, like empty space for it to breathe. Like it really just it required a box that was this big for sure.
Yeah, and then so you and I are also like really big on like having negative space around the box because we don't like the box. We don't like the shoes to fill up the entire box.
You feel like cramped inside the box.
Totally. Yeah. And so I just really wanted to make sure it has room to breathe. I know it's like impossible to see in this like on the screen right here, but where how this like panel is sitting on top is what I was talking about earlier when I was building sort of like a little ledge for this to sit on top of. That's where I was talking to Vicky.
Can we just say, at the beginning of the week, she was like running through her plan of like all of the things that she was going to do with her box. And then she's like, yeah, so I'm just going to like glue these 2 floating shelves so that it holds up the tray with all the accessories on it. And I'm like, how are you going to do that? Like the box is metal. Like how? like, are you gonna
Yeah.
drill into it? What are you gonna do? And she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna super glue it. And I'm
Super
like,
glue it. Yep.
and I'm so sorry I didn't tell you earlier in the
No, you're
week.
fine.
But I
didn't do it.
literally have been like sitting on it and like mulling over. I'm like, girl's gonna use super glue. She is crazy. Like, what if the glue doesn't, like, what if you knock it and then it just pops off, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like really concerned. And so on that day when we were like here all day long on a weekend, like hustling, I was like, Ann, are you sure you want to use super glue? Like, there are other solutions that you should probably explore because the super glue is not gonna hold. Like, you're gonna try to rest the tray on it, and then when they like pick it up and put it down, it's just gonna knock it off.
Yeah.
And like it's brittle, so it just chips off.
Yeah.
I
And
was
she
so
is
scared for
speaking
her.
from experience because I hardly ever use super glue.
Yeah, I super glue everything.
Yeah. And then so I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna work. And thank God she talked me out of it because this is such a better solution.
I feel like you already knew. I just said one thing, and then you figured out the mechanism for how to set it up. So even with like the acrylic, like these are like acrylic, sort of like not podiums, but like little shelves that go along the side of the box, and then create a little shelf so that you can put the tray on, and it like perfectly rests, and there's enough room to like lift it up and down.
Honestly,
Dude.
Vicky, like
Next level engineering.
So yes and no, right? Because I've learned so much from building this like ledge for the tray to sit on top. Of course, I was like, man, like I think it was like not last night, but the night before when I was like left a little early, but I was still like working in my garage when you called me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm gluing like the pieces together for the ledge, right? And then of course, like I set the tray on top, and I was like, oh man, it would be great if I can like I should have scored it. So when it sits on top, it sits inside
Into a right.
Yeah, like a little groove,
right.
But I'm like, should I redo that? No, Vicky's gonna kill me. So I'm like,
there's
no,
literally
this
no
is
time.
Fine. Like
there's
this is fine.
literally
You're
no
being
time.
so extra right now.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. But it's
next
like,
time.
Yes. So what am I going to do next time?
Yes. And we're going to think of all of these things. And there are like a billion other things. Literally, I walked into the studio today and Ann's like, oh, what if we made like these leather strap handles so that you can like, somebody could like pick up your box from the two ends. I'm like, Ann, there's literally no time. We have to deliver today. Like,
I know.
You are crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we had the hardware, it would not take like a very long. It's just like drill 2 holes. Done. But it's that I don't have the screws with long enough posts. Otherwise, we would have done it.
No, this is great. And honestly, like, look at this box. Steph, like, and we were saying when we were taking pictures, right? There's a little bit of everything. We made the sneakers and the custom box for Steph with him in mind, and it caters to like, I feel like all the different sides of him, and like you like really integrated his story into this pair of shoes and the whole packaging and everything. So I feel like he's gonna be so touched when he opens it. I mean, I hope. Crossing my fingers for us.
Girl, you too.
Okay, but I would. Oh, it's so special. I feel like I'm so excited. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be able to see his reaction, but like this is good enough. I'm just over the moon. I can't believe we get to do this.
We're very proud of what we did.
Yeah.
And in the end, like we have so much to show for,
and
we have so much more content around this to share with you guys, so stay tuned.
Oh, I can't even. Okay, the last part of what Ann had to do, the reason why her whole process took took just as long as my process is girl had to go back to like a long time ago, pull out 400 like videos and pictures and stuff and put together the making of video for Steph before today. Like that is insane. We need after this we need to go back and like cut all our videos for Instagram and like share our process with you guys, but like you went and did that.
I mean, I did a quick and dirty version
before
honestly,
D-Day.
I could do so much more. Honestly.
We can continue to do so much more, but like save some for the next project, you know? Yeah. How much time would you say we spent on these boxes? A week.
Right?
Yeah. And
like a
hours.
Full week nonstop. Like week, not just like a weekday 5 days, but like a full week.
Like a full 7-day. I think I was here for like a couple days, like 10, 12-hour days, nonstop. And it was literally like heads down, just spraying, coloring, working, like nothing else.
I know people are gonna be like, Ann, like you kidding me? You spent a whole week on this. Like, are you crazy? Here's the thing. Let me just like say this real quick. Like, I think we don't talk about this. Like, because again, like nobody wants to hear us like complain about like things not working. You know, but like I think it's important to address it, like in this case, because again, like a lot of the frustrations that we have to deal with, like people don't get to see, they just get to see the final finished product, right?
Yeah.
And so like you and I have both had to like create artwork for this stuff, and then we have to format it in a very specific way in order for it to be cut, whether or not by Cricut or by laser, right? And then sometimes the scale doesn't come out right after you print it, and like we're very fussy about that, you know, like we will go and reprint it again.
Yeah.
And then if we're out of materials because we didn't anticipate reprinting them, then we have to go out and get materials. And let's not forget, like sometimes like the Cricut or the laser machine doesn't want to cut the way that you tell it to, and
Things
it eats
never
up
work.
your like vinyl,
Yeah.
and then
You
you're
need to go get
screwed.
more.
Right? And
Right.
it's like all the things, you know, and like for even just for this panel, like I had to go to Tap Plastic just to cut a very custom. I had to build like a pattern for this shape so it fits, and then even after I did that, it didn't fit, so I had to recut. I mean, the whole
You went to
thing,
the store
right?
to get the corners curved exactly to the dimension, and then it didn't work. So then you had to put it into the laser, the cutter,
but then I have to
like
create the artwork in order to cut it.
Yes.
It's the whole thing.
all the things.
Yeah. So those are just the kind of stuff that like really takes up time, because it's also a lot of R&D.
Yeah.
And like getting files set up properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think that's the nature of customs, is like no two projects, and what we like to do, no two projects are exactly the same. So every time that we're doing a project, there are a lot of things that we're doing for the first time, or there's a lot of things that we're doing like in this particular way for the first time, you know? So there's like R&D, and there's troubleshooting, and there's like everything goes wrong. Everything, like you think you're gonna have a smooth week where you plan everything out and you're like, okay, all I have to do is 1, 2, and 3, A, B, and C. And then you're like D and F and G and like everything before it comes together. And I feel like that's why we really wanted to like do this episode too, is just to like share with you guys like the whole process and how long it takes, and you know, just like the high coming off of finishing something like this. Yeah.
So that's all we got.
We're like, I think I can speak on behalf of you too. We feel so blessed that this is our job, and this is the type of stuff that we get to do on a daily basis. Like making cool things like this, like it makes my heart so happy. So, I mean, this is a good start. This is a good start to 2023.
Yo, 2023 has been bananas.
It's kicking my butt already.
But I mean, it's all good. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's all good. So like busy is good. We're so happy, and we're
so
riding
happy.
this momentum.
Yeah.
So stay on this ride with us, people, please. We so appreciate you being here.
I think it's gonna be a
Yeah.
good year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and we're just so excited to share with you guys a project we absolutely love doing for somebody really, really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like this episode, please comment, subscribe.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Let us know what you think of the boxes, and we'll catch you guys next time on another episode.
Yay!
Bye. 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 Bye.